Hi, ladies. Thank you for tuning in today to High Heels and Destiny. Last week, I talked about self love. Today, we're going to move it forward into a different direction, okay? Today, the topic is going to be what's in your purse. Although, ladies, I do understand that we say the word bag, but today we're going to use the word purse. What's in your purse? What are the things that we're carrying around that's weighing us down? I think that we all suffer with this, whether it can be one thing, two, or just many more. But we all suffer with things that we carry around that weighs us down from reaching the next level of our lives. For me personally, I went through a stage, I think, and sometimes I still do go through different stages where I allow myself to carry things that's not meant for me to be carried. Um, I went through a stage in my life where when I was in relationships, rather than allowing myself the time to heal, I would go from one relationship to the next relationship because I felt like the way to fix that problem from the previous relationship was to move on to the next relationship and feel like, oh, okay, it's going to work for me. Okay. But, I learned that before I can move on to the next thing in my life, that from previous relationship, I had to learn how to lay my burdens down, which wasn't an easy thing to do because I think it's easier when we can just pick up and go. When you're able to just pick up and go, you really don't have time to think about what happened in the previous incident. And you're just able to just move forward, not even giving yourself the opportunity to heal. I see, and which I have also done myself, where you're in a relationship with someone, and when you're in that relationship with that person, you break up with that person and you move forward to the next relationship. And then once you move forward to that relationship doesn't work. And then you move forward to another relationship. And now here you go, you have repeat cycles of broken relationship, which now you have a lot more burden that you're carrying around in your purse. And the things that we can carry around in our purse that can weigh us down sometimes, it can be heartache and pain. It can be insecurities. It can be heartbreak. It can be low self-esteem. It can be childhood issues. It could be in situation where, some ladies may have been molested or raped. It can just be, feeling that you're listening, what you really are. There are so many issues as women that we don't deal with. And it's easier for us to just move forward and just take it to the next relationship to actually sit there and deal with those issues. For example, with me, as I said in my previous video, that I was a hot mess. I was making moves because it was easier for me to go to one relationship to the next relationship and not even taking the time to heal myself. I was broken. I thought all men were dogs. I thought there wasn't a such thing as a good man. And I never took the time to sit back and look and say, okay, what happened in this previous relationship? Was it my fault? Was it something I could have done better? What was the issue? And until I started my healing process, like I said in my previous video, I had to take the time to heal within God. And when I started my healing process, I really had to sit down and do some evaluation in my life. And I know us as women, it's kind of easier to always, put our blame on somebody else because, we feel like we always right. So why take the blame? But sometimes when some certain cycles become a repeat offender in your life, sometimes we have to sit back and really take an evaluation and wonder like, okay, if this did happen one time, two times, three times, then okay, maybe the problem is me. And trust me, that's really hard to admit because it's always easier for us to blame someone else than really to take accountability for ourselves. And, I said, well, God, if I'm going to start healing, I'm going to have to start taking accountability for myself. So I decided, okay, I'm going to take accountability for myself in my healing process. So I took the time out to heal, to see, okay, what got me to the place that I'm in right now. I wanted to see, what could I do better? What can I work on within myself to make me a better person? Because if this cycle continues, it's not just the people that I'm dealing with. Evidently, I may be a problem to myself. And when I sat down and I evaluated myself, there was a lot of, I think, childhood issues. Not having my mom, not having a close relationship with my dad. I felt like if me and my dad would had a close relationship, that I wouldn't have needed to go out and look for um, love from, maybe guys and, other things or whatever. I could have felt more validated just having my dad there. I think that was really important to me. Also, not having my mom there as a support, that also played an issue in my life. And so that was just some of the issues. Low self-esteem was another issue. Um, just a lot of insecurities that I had within myself. And I had to sit back and I had to figure out, okay, I have this purse, because we all have purses, How can I empty some of these things out of my purse? Now imagine, ladies, we all like really big bags. And when you start to carry a bag and it's really heavy, it starts to weigh you down and start to pull you down just a little bit. And which sometimes in certain cases can cause health issues as far as your bag. So I was like, okay, let me empty out my purse. What am I carrying that's a little bit too heavy for me? How can I make my life a little bit stressful? And how can I just lay my burdens down so that I can move forward? And as I move forward within my life, I can know how to handle different situations, So first of all, like I said in my previous video, it was about really getting to know God. I had to really get to know God and ask God to help me. God helped me. I became more secure with myself. A lot of issues that I was dealing with, I learned to let go, and I just had to accept my life for what it was for. And the things that I could fix, I fixed, and the things that I couldn't fix, I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. But I most definitely can work on the things that I can fix. So I chose to move forward and just, continue to work on the things that made me feel less of a woman, because in order for me to move forward, to be able to be a better mother, to be able to have a healthy relationship with someone one day, I have to be able to let these things go so that when I meet someone, I can be a good person, a better person, and I can accept and being able to accept accountability for my actions. So I think it's very important, us as women, that we have to empty out our purse. We walk around and we carry so much baggage in our purse. But when we start to let go of the heartache, the pain, childhood issues, low self-esteem, heartbreak, whatever issues that you may be suffering, whether it's drugs, I don't know, but whatever issue that you're suffering with, we have to learn how to lay those things down. And when we're able to lay those things down, our load get a little bit light. And when our load get a little bit light, our life get a little bit easier. And the things that we go through, we don't have to have those same repeat cycles. You know how sometimes, you get to a certain stage of your life and you be like, okay, I've been kind of going through this the last 3 years or 5 years or 6 years, that's not always healthy. And, life don't always have to be like that. Sometimes we really have to accept accountability that we are the reason why our life sometimes can be a little bit heavy. It's nobody else's fault. It's nobody else's problem. It's our problem. And that's something that we have to work on and we have to fix, and we have to take the time to stop and evaluate ourselves, because sometimes we're in a relationship with a guy And then when we move from that relationship with the guy, we automatically feel like, okay, I need me a new boo. And then you move to that relationship 2, 3 months later, you never had the time to really sit back and heal and to figure out, okay, what can I do better? What can I take from this relationship and move to the next relationship, or what can I leave from this past relationship and not take to the next relationship? It's very important that we sit back and we take self-evaluations. But if we never ever take that time out to really stop and take a self-evaluation of ourselves, of our situations, how can we be a better person? And so I think, ladies, it's very important that we empty our purse, that we not continue to carry around what's weighing us down. And we all have different burdens that we all sometimes let attached to us, but at some form of fashion, we gotta let it go, and we just have to give it to God and say, you know what, God, I can't do this. I surrender, God. You can have this. I can't do this. I'm nothing without you, because no one would never love you like you love yourself. So in order to move forward, you got to just empty your purse, take out the heartache, take out the pain, take out the heartbreak, take out the childhood issue, take it out, let it go. Because it's someone that will love you for you. You don't never have to put yourself in a situation to feel as though, okay, you have to compromise yourself to accommodate somebody else's need or to be what they want you to be. Someone will love you just for who you are. But first, remember, it starts with God first, you second, and then your husband third, because we're no longer looking for a boyfriend, we're looking for a husband. So as I close, just remember to empty your purse. What are the issues that you're carrying around that's weighing you down? Take the time out, and trust me, it doesn't happen overnight, but take the time out to empty your purse. Empty wherever is weighing you down, because just know when you make that first step to do that, that your life will change for the better. Thank you guys for tuning in to High Heels and Destiny. See you next week.